I'll talk through the meditation practice we're going to be doing today. So, in fact, the meditation practice we're doing today is not so much a... Irene, welcome back. Nice to see you again. Yeah, the meditation today is not necessarily... You wouldn't really call it necessarily just a meditation, maybe. It's not... I wouldn't put it in the category necessarily of pure meditation. It's kind of like an in-between, I would say, between like a physical yoga practice and a meditation. But don't worry, you don't need your yoga mat. You're not going to be moving around too much. Sitting where you are will be just fine. But today we're going to be doing a practice that works with the bandhas. So actually, I've not shared this practice online before. So this will be a first time exclusive on the Virtual Village Hall. And yeah, it's something I generally only sort of talk about or go into depth with on my meditation course, or when I work with people privately, on a sort of one-to-one basis. As the bandhas, that basically translates to the locks. So the bandhas of the body are the locks of the body, and there are 3 locks. So we have the Mula Bandha, which is essentially where the pelvic floor muscles are. This is the root lock, the core lock, the central lock, the root lock. Uddiyana Bandha is the central lock. This is sort of where the abdominals are, stomach area is. And then the third lock is Jalandhara Bandha, which is the throat lock. The throat lock is a little bit different to the previous 2, where the previous 2 require sort of a muscular engagement. You have to actually pull the muscles in to engage those locks. Whereas the throat lock is more created by tilting the head forwards and constricting the throat, kind of creating a bit of a blockage for your breath to catch in. So those are the 3 locks we're going to be working with today, going to be exploring in this practice in a sort of meditation style way. And once we've done those 3 locks, I will talk about a 4th lock called Maha Bandha. But Maha Bandha requires a good understanding, a good connection, a good previous practice of the previous 3 individual locks, because Maha Bandha is all 3 together at the same time, and this can be a very powerful practice and is generally not recommended for definitely sort of first-time practitioners. It's definitely something to practice only as and when you've created a strong level of connection to the bandhas by themselves, the locks by themselves. So that is what we'll be going through today. So if anybody's come across the bandhas, or if you have any questions, by all means, please drop a comment, let me know. As this is live, I can obviously answer you directly here, but if you're watching this at a later time or date, feel free to message me or get in touch through any of my social medias or Facebook page, whatever. I'm always happy to make things clearer. It's always good to know if something is not fully understood. If someone comes forward with a question, then I can make sure that in future I make sure all those things are covered and everything's understood as best it can be, at least anyway. So we're going to spend 5 minutes on each of these bandhas, each of these locks. So it's going to be about 15-minute practice, and then a little break when I explain Maha Bandha. But again, that will be very much something that only you can decide as and when you're ready to use that, as it does come with a bit of a warning, basically. I feel that people nowadays are a lot more self-aware and a lot more balanced and a lot more open to using this level of practice, but in the sort of original texts of the Maha Bandha, it basically comes with a bit of a spiritual health warning, as the idea behind it is that the locks, the Maha Bandha, the great lock, all 3 of them together can cause a sort of powerful rising of energy in the body, that if the practitioner is not ready for, not prepared for, can sort of blow their mind, essentially make them a little bit doolally, which head in the clouds, basically, kind of get stuck in the clouds a little bit, I think is the idea behind it. As the root lock, the Mula Bandha, which works with, if you're familiar with the chakras, that works with the Muladhara chakra, the very root chakra, which is sort of our connection to our energy of survival, our energy of protecting ourselves. It's our very much our primal life force, our primal energy force is in this Muladhara chakra, in the Mula Bandha. And by working with the root lock, the Mula Bandha, what we're doing is, as energy flows through the body, so as we breathe in through the nose, and much like essentially an electric current, that energy, that life force runs through the body, comes in through the nose, and essentially grounds out through the toes. And so as we breathe in through the nose, the energy travels down through the body. And what we're doing with the Mula Bandha, the root lock, is capturing that energy, capturing that life force that runs through us, and preventing it from sort of passing all the way through, and catching it to sort of send it back up and redirect it for higher purposes is the idea. So that is what you do with the root lock, the Mula Bandha. And the way that you engage this lock, the way that we're going to be practicing it today, is that essentially you have, in your pelvic floor muscles, you have 3 sets of muscles. So you have I need to be mindful about my language here on how I talk about this, but essentially you've got the muscles at the front, which do a number 1, and you have the muscles at the back, which do a number 2, okay? So it's the muscles in the middle, which are is the area in between these 2 sets of muscles. And what we're trying to engage is just that central portion of muscles. Now, if you do not have a strong connection to your pelvic floor muscles, when you first work with the Mula Bandha, then you're going to be, as you try to connect to your pelvic floor muscles, you're going to be engaging all 3 of these sets of muscles, which is fine. It's not a problem. You still get the same benefits, still get the same practice, but what we're trying to do is create a level of connection to that area of the body where we can fine-tune our connection to that specific area of muscle. So it comes with time and practice, and they say that the day where you can number 1 and number 2 at the same time is the day you have achieved mastery of your pelvic floor muscle. So if you manage that, if you achieve that, make a note in your diary as you've unlocked full mastery of your pelvic floor muscles. So there's that. That is the root lock, the Mula Bandha. We then have the Uddiyana Bandha, which is the central lock. Now, again, this is the sort of abdominal stomach area. And the way that we engage this lock is what you want to sort of feel and try to work with is that you are pulling your belly button in towards your spine, but at the same time up into your rib cage. So underneath your rib cage is your diaphragm, the muscle that helps you breathe, pulls the lungs down to pull the breath in, pushes on the lungs to squeeze the breath out. What you're trying to do is pull your belly button in and up into your diaphragm. So that engages the central lock, the Uddiyana Bandha of the body, okay? And the idea behind the central lock is that this works with, again, speaking about the chakras, the Manipura chakra, which is just beneath the rib cage, just sort of in the sternum area. And this is your center of power, confidence, digestive fire. If you kind of want to go down the route of elements, then it is the element of fire, your inner strength. It's this area that we can strengthen to build the fire and the digestive fire as well. And if you can strengthen this fire, you can create this fire. This is the fire that you burns the butterflies in your stomach away. So if you get butterflies in your belly because you're nervous and scared, build up your fire, burn those butterflies, and find that inner strength rather than being in the nerves and the fear. So what we're going to be doing is taking a deep breath in as we exhale, pulling the belly button in and up and towards the diaphragm, up and towards the rib cage. And that will be how we engage with the central lock, the Uddiyana Bandha. And then finally, the throat lock, Jalandhara Bandha. Again, not really a muscular engagement like the previous 2 locks. This is more how you hold yourself. So it's a little bit of a tricky one, but you'll know when you've got it correct because you can hear your breath. So what you want to do is the way that I engage it anyway is that I bring my chin into my chest, so I really bring my head forwards, and then I try and keep my chin that close to my chest, to my neck, as I slide my head backwards. So imagine you're trying to kind of give yourself a double chin, is probably as best you can. Really try and make it a big double chin as possible. That's probably the best way to kind of try and understand it. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to constrict the passage of the airway, so that when you breathe through your nose, you can hear your breath catching in your throat, in your neck. So with proper engagement, if you can hear your breath, that's how you know that you're doing it properly. If you cannot hear your breath, you're just going to have to play around with it for a little bit to try and figure out how you can engage that, how that works for you. So again, the idea behind these practices is that the Mula Bandha, the root lock, catches that life force, that energy that runs through your body. The Uddiyana Bandha, the central lock, this works the fire, kind of like the bellows on it's not such a common thing nowadays, but you know, the thing you sort of pump air into the fire to build the fire. And so the engagement of the Uddiyana Bandha, the central lock, is the bellows to the fire, essentially, to make the fire stronger. So that fire purifies, cleanses, and transfers that captured energy from the root lock up through the body. And then you're directing the energy that you've caught up through the body into the throat, and into the sort of higher functions of the body, the higher chakras. So we've got Vishuddhi chakra, which is the throat chakra, Ajna chakra, which is the sort of mind, imagination center. And so we're trying to redirect the primal energies of our life force up into the higher energies, where sort of self-expression, art, you know, all imagination comes from, all these kind of things. So we're trying to sort of bring more energy into these centers. And that is what the throat lock is doing. By sort of catching it, the energy is coming up through from the root lock. The energy is cleansed, sent up by the fire of the digestive fire, and is sent up into the throat, where we catch it in the Jalandhara Bandha, in the throat lock. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much the idea and the principles behind the practice of the bandhas. So again, if anything needs a little bit more clarification, if anybody has any questions, please drop a comment before we get started, as I can answer those directly now. So hi Irene, hi Donna, nice to see you tuning in. Thank you for tuning in as well. It's nice to be here. But yeah, if nobody has any questions, then we can crack on. We'll spend about 5 minutes on each of the bandhas, and then after that I will talk about Maha Bandha. But again, that very much comes with a practice when you're ready, warning that is not a practice to be taken lightly, as it can be very intense and very strong. Especially, for example, you know, if you're someone who has experienced traumas in your life, especially sort of physical ones, the bandhas individually are the place to start with, because that information, that energy, that experience that you've gone through will be, that information is the trauma is stored in the musculature part of your body, in the muscles, in these areas. So to connect with them individually is a much safer, sensible approach, rather than going for all three at the same time, which could kind of lead you to opening up that information in your body again. You know, so if you have experienced a trauma especially a physical trauma in your body, then you know, if you practice the Maha Bandha, the Great Lock, that can lead to triggering that experience again, which, you know, obviously if you're not being guided and supported directly with someone who is trained in doing that, then that is definitely something I would strongly recommend that you do not do and that you avoid. until such times you have someone to work with directly. Okay, so Jer, you're happy with how that's been explained, so thank you for the feedback. Okay, if everyone's happy, then I shall crack on. So we're going to spend about 5 minutes on each, so it's going to be about a 15-minute practice. I'll sort of guide you in a meditative way, and then we'll actually do about 5 minutes on each of the bandhas. And yeah, actually, just going back into the sort of, again, if you've experienced a physical trauma, gentle practice of these bandhas individually can help to cleanse these areas of the body, to cleanse that information that has been stored in the muscles, in the memory of the body. So gentle practice can lead to those traumas being healed, essentially. But again, practice mindfully, practice carefully. This can also, emotional traumas, and so it doesn't have to just be physical traumas. The body doesn't see emotional or physical traumas as any different. The body stores them exactly the same. Imagine your muscles as a memory card, a hard drive, where you store your files, your facts, your information. The muscles of the body is essentially the hard drive, is the storage space for all the experiences and things that you go through in your life. So the emotional traumas can also be stored in the body in just the same way as physical. So if you are aware that you have gone through traumas, practice these very gently, very mindfully, and if done with treating yourself gently, treating yourself with patience and respect, then again it can lead to you releasing and healing these traumas. But again, if that is where you are in yourself, again, just one more final warning: better to work with somebody who is aware of this, informed of this, and knows how to guide you through these levels of experience. Okay. All right. So everybody, you can sit up or lie down. I personally think sitting up would be the preferable way of doing this. Just gives you a better level of connection to the practice and sort of opens the space in a more conducive way. One of those words anyway. In a more conducive way, so that you can really get the full benefit from this practice. So sitting comfortably. Tilt your pelvis forwards, lengthen through your spine, rolling your shoulder blades backwards and closing your eyes. Just taking a moment to settle as you start to bring your focus, your attention, your awareness into your body, into your breath. As you begin to focus on your breathing, taking your attention away from thoughts, away from thinking, settling into feelings, sensations of your body. Bringing your awareness to sensations of touch on your skin, the feeling of temperature in your body. Just noticing what there is to feel, what is happening in your immediate experience. Feeling without thinking. Do not identify with your feelings. Do not categorize as good or bad, desirable or not. Be in your body as it is, accepting what you find so that you may work with it. If there is tensions, tiredness, discomfort, whatever there may be, just allow yourself to feel it in the same way that you feel your breath. not wishing for otherwise, not wanting for change. Being present in your immediate experience. The points of contact with whatever you're sitting on. Feel the weight of your body as you sit here now. And as you tune in, can you soften? Softening your body, your shoulders, your jaw. No thoughts need thinking about, and there is nowhere else to be. Taking control of your breath, breathing in deeper. Deep belly breaths in and out through the nose. Deepening the practice of your breath. Deepening the connection to your breathing. As you breathe into your belly. Breathing deep down into your belly, in and out through your nose. With every breath in, your belly expands. And with every exhale, squeeze the belly in. Help your diaphragm to empty your lungs. Hear your breathing, listening to your breath. If you are listening to your breathing, then you cannot be listening to any thoughts, no distractions. Fully absorbed in your breath, in your body, in the practice, in the meditation. And so as you deepen your breath, breathe deep down into your pelvic floor muscles. Breathe so deeply that you feel this area of your body expanding with your breath. And as you exhale, pull the pelvic floor muscles up inside the body. Exhale and hold. Inhale, breathe into, release. Again, as you exhale, pull the muscles in, up inside the body. And as you inhale, gently release, breathing into this area of your body again. So continue with this practice, working with your Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor muscles, in a similar way to how you breathe. Expanding this area when you breathe in, and pulling this area in as you exhale. So it doesn't have to be a strong engagement. It doesn't need to be a strong pulling into the body. Just an engagement, a connection, a usage. Inhale so deeply in through your nose that you feel these muscles soften and relax. And as you exhale, lift, engage. Just feel this area of your body. Feel this part of your anatomy. And as you work with it, notice how it responds. How does it feel? Again, not thinking how it feels, just feeling, observing. Maybe you've never connected with this part of your body in this way before. Maybe this is an area of your body where the muscles have a weak connection, where the muscles are not so strong. Maybe there is a lack of feeling, where the mind-body connection is weak. Just observe, feel, work with whatever you find. Maybe there is a level of discomfort. This can be normal when an area of the body is rarely used. It may feel strange. Again, because it is a part of yourself that you are not familiar with. All things are fine. If there is any sharp pain, if there is pain rather than just simply discomfort, then stop. Maybe practice more gently. But again, there should not be pain. Any other feeling is fine. What you're feeling determines on you and your body and your connection to this area of yourself, and the information, the energy that you have in this part of your anatomy. Again, this root lock, Mula Bandha, connects to the Muladhara chakra, the ground chakra, the root chakra, the energy center of our most primal energy, our most primal life force. This is where our energy of survival comes from. When all else fails, this is our strongest source of energy, our most powerful. So now that we have connected with Mula Bandha, the root lock, we're going to come up into Uddiyana Bandha, the central lock. So again, the abdominal stomach area. Keep breathing deeply. Breathe deep down into the belly, into your stomach. And as you exhale, pull the belly button in and up into the rib cage. So again, as you exhale, engage the lock. As you inhale, gently release, breathe into this space. And again, exhaling, pulling in, squeezing in, inhaling, gently releasing, breath expanding the belly. And again, how well this works for you is all down to the level of connection you have with this part of your body. This involves deep core muscles, the abdominals, and not only does this area of the body become affected by this practice because of the use of the muscles of this area, but every time you pull and engage that lock, you're also squeezing on your internal organs, Your internal organs are made of muscle, just like the rest of the muscles in the body. And just like the rest of the muscles in your body, your organs, these muscles, can store tension, can store information, patterns, behaviors, traumas. And so now what we're doing with this practice is massaging them. In the same way you would get a body massage, somebody would massage your muscles for you, you are now massaging your internal organs. And again, if this is something you've never done before, there may be levels of tension, discomfort that is new to you, is unknown. And with this practice, you are now being made aware of them. Again, if this is uncomfortable, if it manifests into heat or bubbling, tingling, many strange different ways this can be expressed, that is all fine. So long as you are not in physical pain, then this practice is good for you, this is safe for you. It is moving things. If you do experience pain, sharp pain, then stop. Maybe try the practice more gently. But again, if there is pain, then stop. You are not ready for this part of the practice just yet. But think of every time you engage this lock, as you pull the central lock in, you are strengthening this area of your body. You are strengthening your mind-body connection to this area of your body. And you're also connecting better with your organs. Each organ is connected to its own element. So you have fire, water, wood, earth, and metal. All the organs are connected to different energies and are the center for different emotions. It is from our organs here in the stomach area that our emotions, the energy of our emotions is stored, where it comes from, where it's created. So you are strengthening your connection with your body, with yourself, and also with your emotions, whilst releasing old energy, old behaviors, old patterns, and possibly old traumas. So now we have purified the energy that we have redirected through our body and now sent it up through the body. We are going to capture that energy in the throat lock in Jalandhara Bandha. So bring your chin in towards your chest and then slide your head back and feel a constriction, a sort of bend in your windpipe, in your throat. So as you breathe through your nose, you should be able to hear your breath. Sort of hear your breath catching in your neck and your throat. So again, it may take a little bit of manipulation of the throat, of the neck, just to figure out how to engage this throat lock for you. But again, as you breathe through your nose, if you can hear your breath catching and feel it catching in the throat, in the windpipe, then you have properly engaged the Jalandhara Bandha, the throat lock. So all you need to do is keep it in place as you hold the root of the throat lock. So no movement needed, just feel your breath and hear your breath. As you breathe through your nose, as your breath passes through the windpipe, through the neck. Feel your breath, hear your breath. And so here in the throat, this is the center of the Vishuddhi chakra, the throat chakra. This is connected to the center of your body, the energy of your body, the center of information for self-expression, freedom of expression, creativity, and most importantly, speaking your truth. Sometimes maybe you are someone with a frog in the throat. Maybe your voice feels caught or tight and things are left unsaid. Maybe you regularly catch things like tonsillitis. You get a bad throat. These are all manifestations of things that have not been expressed, things that have been left unsaid. And sometimes this can come from being afraid to speak. Sometimes this is caused by a deficiency in the energy of the throat. And so whilst you engage this throat lock, Jalandhara Bandha, you are bringing energy into this space. You are connecting to this part of you, to your throat, to your voice. And we all have many beautiful things to share and to say. It is important for you to say the things that you need to. So for a few moments longer, just feel this area of your body. Again, do not think about what you're feeling or how you're feeling, what experience is happening in your body. It does not need to be thought about. It does not need to be categorized. It does not need to be identified. Just experienced. Just felt. Allowing yourself to feel without thinking about it is a truly powerful practice. The thinking mind, it is only a tool that we have for problem solving. That's all it was really meant for, to solve problems. So when we apply that to everything, then everything that we apply it to is a problem. Listen to the other minds of your body. Your intuition, your gut. Listen to your heart. There are many centers of processing information in your body other than just the thinking mind. So just feeling this throat center, again, your center of freedom of expression, of speaking your truth. Feel your connection to this part of your body. Feel that you're bringing energy to this space. And then just lifting your head, opening the throat lock, releasing. And just taking a moment to feel the work that you've done. The connection you've now made to to these 3 areas of your body, the 3 locks, bandhas. Maybe you feel something residual. Maybe these practices have moved something inside of you. Maybe something's become understood. Thank yourself for this time, for this practice, for giving yourself this time to connect with yourself. And when you're ready, opening your eyes, coming back into the room. So, for those of you who joined in live, thank you very much. Feel free to leave a comment, let me know how that experience was for you, what came up. If anything particularly challenging or confusing came from that practice, by all means, please get in contact with me. I'm more than happy to support you on exploring these things further. So yes, those are the 3 locks, the 3 bandhas. There is a 4th lock, which involves all 3 of these at the same time, and is called Maha Bandha. Now, this is a particularly strong practice. And again, the bandhas by themselves, I would recommend, practicing with patience and gently, and just creating a level of connection to those practices individually. Maha Bandha, again, it is definitely not recommended for new practitioners. It is recommended only for those who have created a strong level of connection to these other energy centers, these other locks that you've worked with, the 3 locks. But yes, then Maha Bandha would be the engagement of all 3 of these locks at the same time. Now, that is the most powerful form of this practice. And again, even to experienced practitioners, the experience for it can be extremely intense. Sorry, the Maha Bandha. So yeah, that would be the 4th lock. But again, if that is something that you would like to explore, then perhaps get in touch with me directly, and we can explore whether that is safe for you to practice. So Sue, you've asked, does humming come into this somehow? Love this breathing. Humming. It can be that if you naturally found yourself humming or making a sound, then that can be sort of things that energy that needs moving. I quite often find this, even just with a physical yoga practice, with the breath work, when you start really connecting to your breathing and using your breath, because you're now fully exchanging the energy in your system, in your body. You're breathing into and you're moving through old energy and replacing it, and everything in the body is moving. Even just with deep breathing, you can end up sort of making random sounds, which is always sort of amusing as a teacher to see, because when someone makes a sound in a yoga class, you can kind of see like, they were a bit surprised, they weren't expecting that. So yeah, if you found yourself humming whilst doing any of these 3 locks, it may just be that that is a manifestation of some energy within you that is now releasing. So if that's what you mean in terms of how humming comes into this, then yeah, it's quite possible that you can make random sounds and random noises by using the bandhas. Absolutely. So if anybody has any other questions, I can answer them just before I leave. But yeah, if anybody is interested in exploring these further, again, feel free to get in contact with me. I'm also here every single month on Virtual Village Hall. Always enjoy giving these meditations here on this page for the Royal Voluntary Service. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Jess. That was hard and comfortable, well worth it. Thank you. Oh, well, I'm glad. Yeah, if it was easy, what would be the point? You know, if there wasn't a challenge aspect to it, then you know, what would you be learning? So, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that. And who else? Who else? Donna, thank you. Most enlightening and relaxing session. Fantastic. Good, Donna. I'm very glad to hear that. Yes, if anybody's interested further on the Bandhas, you can actually find it in my book. You can find this on Amazon. There's I don't think I go into it too extensively, but there is definitely a few pages in here about the Bandhas. But otherwise, enjoy your weeks, the rest of the time here on Virtual Village Hall. There's a lot more on the schedule, so make sure you tune in for those. And if you're watching this at a later time, well, yeah, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it, and take care.